Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. We are here with another supporters stream, and we actually don't have an agenda today. I think I know at least two of us have some issues. I don't know. Quint, do you have tech issues we need to talk about too, or not?
I have issues with Wi-Fi on my laptop here.
Sweet! We'll figure it out. I think that's what we're going to do. Switch to Linux tech support. We might be able to help you, but we're not sure. Oh, I never changed the banner. Don't! I forgot to change the banner. No! No! Tech support! I'm bad. I'm wrong.
STLTS. That's the chat for today.
Yeah, there you go. I need to find my where's my banner blank here.
Super
let's
loud typing on my part.
Let's just call this guy Tech Hangout. It's been that kind of day, guys. It's been that kind of day.
It has. It's been that kind of week.
Hopefully I unmuted you guys. Somebody confirm. Can we hear the guests? Because I can't. I have their screen covered right now with GIMP. Okay, banner. Do that. Let's see. Discard that. And did you show up? Hey, you showed up. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. So it's been fun on this end. How's it going over that way? How's it going down south there?
Yeah, it's fine. Nothing really. I have day off for tomorrow because too many people, like half our high school got sent home, and we had a thing we were supposed to do on Friday that wasn't academic related, and since so many people were home, they just canceled it, so we don't have school tomorrow.
Oh, fun. Nice. Oh, days off. That's fun. We're going to get days off from Thanksgiving. Our governor has decided not to allow Thanksgiving this year. So Tech, how's it going with your way?
It is going well enough. I mean, it's been a week. It's not terrible, not great, but it's been a week.
Okay.
I'm half day tomorrow because I'm going out of town, taking a short little weekend vacation myself. So nice. I will miss the Saturday stream, but I will catch it when it is not live.
Which one? The Friday stream?
No streams this weekend.
Yeah, I'm not doing a Saturday stream.
Okay,
so
you're not.
Somebody sent me this. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it or not, especially since my camera doesn't autofocus there. So what you're looking at is a picture somebody took our governor, Tom Wolf, the werewolf of Harrisburg, and put him in an elf costume. And it says he's watching 2020 Elf on the Shelf because here in Pennsylvania, they decided that even if you are, no gatherings larger than 10 people who are not, within your own house, and everyone has to wear a mask between bites. You can take it off. You can pull it down between bites. And pretty much that's it. So I'm going to go find the largest unmasked party I can possibly find and for Thanksgiving next week. So we will not be having a stream next week. I'll be engaging in civil disobedience. No. Because Tom Wolf, screw you, get the hell out of office. You've been a tyrant of our state for 9 months now. Give up power. Face it, fool. The only people who are dying of coronavirus right now in Pennsylvania are nursing home patients. It's sad about their death. I'm not saying that's fine, but what the point is that I want to say is that this is not dangerous enough that we need to cancel. Let's see, we've canceled Easter, we've canceled 4th of July, we've canceled all of the holidays in between. Now it's Thanksgiving. And yeah, they are going to proceed beyond Christmas. Let's just go ahead and get in. But isn't that what the lefties always wanted, is to get rid of Thanksgiving anyway? So
in Soviet Pennsylvania, holidays infect you.
That's right. Although I would really like somebody to attempt to enforce this no mask rule in Pennsylvania. Well, officer, you have a couple of choices. We'll tie you up with the cows in the back, or you can come in and enjoy Thanksgiving dinner, which is going to be. Oh boy. Let's check in with people, then we'll get into tech talk. Let's see. It's lame, but do you think it's a little odd that movies out of the 70s through 76 all predicted this? Yeah, it's like these people didn't realize that, this isn't the playbook for the future. This was science fiction. It's supposed to be fiction, emphasis on the fiction word. I became a prophet myself. When I wrote the book, Lockdown in March, like literally the things I wrote about are actually starting to come true in many parts of the world right now. And so I'm for a bit greater exposure, I'm probably going to take that book off of the free giveaway, and I'm actually going to probably release it for sale where I can market it with ads and stuff. And I'll just make it as cheap as I can. So, but yeah, very fascinating. But yeah, eat Conmass drinking supply. Yeah. Nobody could predict a Sylvester Stallone musical movie. Oh God, is there a Sylvester Stallone musical movie? Am I missing something? I don't know. You guys hear about this?
I'm not missing anything, I tell you that.
Okay. Moonbase Alpha Grays is here. Greetings. How's this coffee ready? Very good. Yes, STLTS. We'll see if we can actually pull this off. Man, that's called an anagram, right? Is that what it's called? Okay.
As an acronym?
Not acronym, anagram. I think it's an anagram.
Anagram, okay.
I think an acronym is when they spell something out.
STLTS, right, because it's
well, it is both, actually, because switch to
yeah.
Linux tech support. So it is both an anagram and...
I was thinking of it as an acronym. That's how I intended
Yes.
it. But an anagram works. It's nice. I like it.
The alternative is here. What's up, guys? How's it going there? Yeah, I think they can hear you, yes. I forgot to pull up the notice that we're actually live over on live chat on Discord as well. So we'll go ahead and throw that up there when one of you guys are talking here in a few minutes. Governor is a big turkey. That is right. If he's not careful, he might get stuffed.
Discord live chat.
All right. It's a scary picture. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. About to sign up for Mint. What is your promo code again? It is TLM.li/MM. I believe that is it. Let me go ahead and drop that in here. And I believe right now, Mint Mobile is actually doing a big promo where if you sign up, I think you will get like an extra 3 months free. I think that's my affiliate code. If that doesn't, let me double check it over here. Is that it? Is that it? Yes, that is indeed it. So, yes. Mint Mobile is great. I've been using it. I've been using it now for a year, actually. Shocking. How fake is it when there are several scientific sources proving it to your existence? Yeah, I mean, it exists. It's just not, it's not the bubonic plague that the media is hyping it up to be. If you are old and have comorbidities, it is a very dangerous disease. But for the average population, it is, I mean, if it's a bad cold, you have a bad case of it for the average population. And Minnesota has been given permission to use our governor as the basting turkey. Wow. I believe
I approve, Minnesotans. I approve.
Whitmer in Michigan, I believe, is they're calling for her impeachment finally. It took long enough.
Yeah, it started earlier this week.
A pregnant woman does more for PA than the governor. Yeah, probably. I mean, hey, we are taking science advice from a person who doesn't know if they're a male or a female. I mean, just keep that in mind. It's all about the science. Excuse me, Rachel, you have a... Never mind, I almost said a bad word.
Family friendly. Remember the server rules.
Whew. I'm getting hot about this. This is like, okay, guys, we have to stop and do something insane. All right, let's see. I lost 10 friends, and 3 of them were 35 years old, so it is not fake. 3 of them were 35. That is a very odd case, because the number of people under the age of 40 in the whole nation is extraordinarily small. From Minnesota, let's see. Scientific journals and sources are not mainstream media. What you on about? Yeah, I'm reading the scientific literature. Like, one of the things I was like, okay, let's look up some of the vaccine stuff. I found nothing about the efficacy of the vaccine in the journals, but I did find a 33% moderate to severe side effect ratio. That's interesting. Yeah, first time in history, pandemic has been declared with a virus, 99% survival rate. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Just got home. Did you miss anything? Nope, not yet. Not yet. Okay, ordered part from D-Day. Okay, let's see. Streaming this with YouTube DL. How do you stream with YouTube DL? That's cool. I have no idea how to do that. Sounds fun.
I haven't gotten YouTube since YouTube DL got they got the whole DMCA thing. I haven't been able to use it. Like it just doesn't work.
Try updating it again. The GitHub guys, I might do an update on this in the news, but the guys at GitHub told the RAA to go RTFM or something, and they actually reinstated it. So it was,
you're not to get too off topic right now, so reading comments, but this is what I've been trying to do.
We're done with comments, so let's go ahead and get it attacked because we want to get.
So this is what I've been trying to do while you guys were talking is I wanted to make it so that on the GNOME lock screen, the icon theme is the same as the icon theme on your desktop, and I did that as you see right there. I have my nice, pretty material design icons right there.
There we are.
So you might want to switch the camera over to him.
Yeah, I switched the camera. If you want to show that again, Quint,
trying to show the icons again here.
Yeah, I have to do kung fu to get everything working right.
Here are my nice material design icons.
Hold on, just hold it. It's not yet in
focus.
Come
on, camera focus.
It was focused for like 3 seconds, and then it went out of focus. Wait, almost. Back it up just a little bit. Almost. Focus, camera, focus. I don't know if it's going to focus. Anyway, we have very nice icons.
What I did is I set, hopefully if it focuses, I set my icons here so that they're not the default GNOME ones on the lock screen. Like even if you change all your GNOME theme settings, it's not going to take effect on the lock screen. And so there's some commands you can run. The other thing I did here, I'm sure you'll probably be able to see this better. By default on GNOME, the time on the lock screen is in 24 hours. And as you see here, I set it so it's 12-hour, and you can see the date too.
It's still fuzzy, but we get the picture, yeah.
I don't know why this webcam doesn't like to focus.
Yeah.
But I have some commands. I can share them right here. But this, if you guys are interested in doing something like that, you have to use some commands to write to the dconf. And then
are they on a website?
No, I have them right here in my text document. I had to figure them out myself.
Oh, okay.
But here, I can put them in the chat so you guys can see them. But you have to write some commands to do some to trigger some dconf settings as the user GDM, which is the GNOME Display Manager, instead of your user. When you're using like GNOME tweaks or something to change the icons, it changes these same dconf values in the background, but just as your user. The lock screen uses GDM GNOME Display Manager as its user. So this one here that I'm about to paste in is to change the clock format to 12 hours.
Are you going to put it where? Are you going to put it at?
It's in the YouTube chat.
Oh, chat. Okay, good. So I don't have to do
There's one. This one will change the clock format to 12-hour.
Okay.
This next one here will, you see this one, what does this one do? This one shows the date on the lock screen.
Okay, so I got dates, time.
And then I have a couple more. This one here. Well, let's see. This one shows the weekday. Show the weekday. Yep. The last one I have, which I think is still in my terminal here, will change the icon theme.
I wish Sleepy Eyes Vince were on. He uses Window Manager. Somebody asking about desktop environments versus window managers. I would like to learn a window manager. It's right now I'm just so busy with time right now. I think that it's going to be more efficient to use one when you learn how to use it. That's like Sleepy Eyes Vince. He doesn't get a chance to jump on a lot, but if he does get a chance to pop on, he actually switched over to try out, I think he's using OpenBox maybe, and he just absolutely loves the window manager once he gets used to it.
So there are those commands right there. If you
Cool,
guys ever want to change that.
Yeah,
I know
copy
this
them
is
now.
one of the reasons why you don't like GNOME, that you find the settings are too simplistic, which I agree with you on that. And you can change. GNOME is very customizable. It's just you have to do some stuff like this from the command line.
Yeah, there's some things about like XFCE that are very similar, so that's fine.
But if you guys ever want to change like the way the appearance of the lock screen, that's how you do it.
Cool.
You're telling me during the wrong week I started playing with KDE, and I think I might be converted.
Let me get over to this comment here. Question: is it possible to host Jitsi server for video conferencing on the Lenode servers? Yes, actually, the one we're on right now, we are on Jitsi, hosted on my own Lenode server. So yes, very possible. And there is actually on Lenode, there is a one-touch script. So if you go in there and that's all you want on the server, you can go in and do a one-touch script for it, which is something you can do. Now, I took a longer route around. Mine is actually sitting on top of ISP config, which is an open source control panel build. And I just created a subdomain for it. So I had to do a little extra kung fu to get mine to actually function right in the context of a greater vhost type platform. But yes, very simple one, create the Lenode account and then you just go ahead and click the button for a single click install a Jitsi server. One of the things that we did have to do to this server is there is a setting, and I'd have to track it down again if you guys don't remember what it is. There is a setting that they made a big deal. Hey, we got XYZ, whatever function it was, working. Well, whenever that function works, I don't know what it does. Nobody can tell me what it does, except it meters the video conferencing calls down to like 320p. And so just disabling that one function in the server actually gave us the 720p view that we're looking at here. So yeah, this is all done. We're using this on my own personal Jitsi server on a Lenode plan. So yes. So that is and I think I might actually just do a video about doing the basic setup and maybe a little bit more complicated what I did with mine. So let's see if there's anything else in there. Self-use home kiosk for your computer, eBay, PayPal. Yeah.
I can give you guys one.
So
I
tech.
can give you guys one more command too to set the icon
Yes.
or the font. We
All right.
work on that.
So you were saying you switched over to Plasma and you might be a Plasma convert now.
Yeah, so I just threw it in the comments, but my Pinebook Pro, after our stream on Sunday, I reinstalled Manjaro 2010 on it and decided to go with KDE. And it was really nice, and just as kind of a happenstance, I ran across this video on how to customize KDE, and I was like, wow, I was like, this is really cool. It's got all kinds of nifty effects. Unfortunately, some of them caused the KWin manager to crash, but on my desktop, which is AMD system, it's rock solid, man. It's really nice, very pretty. So many cool customization options. So
yeah, I threw Plasma on my Arch system. I'm having problems with it. It's the first time I've ever had problems with Plasma. So I'm actually still running Cinnamon right now. I part of me just really wants to just wipe out this whole Arch computer, rebuild it from ground up with nothing but either Plasma or Cinnamon, or maybe just both of them. But
yeah, I gave up on Cinnamon on my Pinebook Pro because while it's nice, it's really sluggish. Like I don't know why that is.
Yeah, can be sluggish.
I haven't used KDE because I thought it would be sluggish on the Pinebook Pro, but it's actually really not.
No, as of it was about 3 or 4 versions ago, they really got rid of that sluggishness. When it first switched over to Plasma, it was fairly sluggish, but a couple versions back, man, they just took all that slowness out. I mean, it's really streamlined now.
Robert CS68 says he switched to, I assume he switched to Kubuntu 2 months ago. KDE is okay, but he is also having some random crashes.
Yeah, I've had random crashes if I'm running Kodi and exiting Kodi to the desktop. That seemed to give me a crash. That was really the only time I've had major crashes in Cinnamon, or excuse me, in Plasma. Linux Lover 84. I use Peppermint on my banking computer. So I have one computer dedicated just for banking stuff, and that one is running Peppermint, which is very nice. I guess I'll do a follow-up on my end on our Pine product stream last Saturday. I was talking about there. I ran an update, and it killed Arch. Very sad, because Arch was like the one thing that was working fine. Well, I was able to get the updates running again. It was very laborious because it kept on trying to re-switch to the frozen menu. So every 5 seconds it would re-switch. So I could go in, I could hit the Alt F4 to switch to a new browser instance and type a few commands, and then it would switch back. So I keep doing that. I was able to actually get in to run the updates. The updates still did not fix it. But the problem, what Pizza said, is the problem was they had an issue with Mesa on the mobile version of Arch. And so I tried updating that specifically, and they apparently removed the version of Mesa that was on there. So it was trying to load into a version that was there. So all I did is I reinstalled Mesa, removing the old Mesa Git, and that actually brought it all back perfectly. So,
the Alt F4 thing crashing is a feature, not a bug.
Which one? Oh, the Win4.
It's a feature, not a bug. It's supposed to crash.
Is. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. I'm not going to put the exact commands in for the other things, but if you what you do is just install dconf editor on your system, which is like the GUI dconf editor program. Look for the settings. They're all under org gnome desktop interfaces. There's a whole list of them, and just substitute the commands I already put in there for the other ones. One thing to note, if it's a string, you have to do the thing where, if you notice, like some of my commands, there's like this weird thing where it's like a quote and then a slash and then a quote. You have to do that for dconf. It doesn't like it unless you do that. But if it's a true or false, like a Boolean, you just have to put true or false.
Yeah, I've played with that. That's what you used to have to use that to put the desktop icons on Peppermint before they added the extra features. Not Gary asks my opinions on Amazon Pharmacy Run in Terror. One more instance. So if you guys didn't follow that, I think I may be covering that in the news tomorrow. Depends on, I have a boatload of business news, so something's going to get cut. But yeah, Amazon is starting to sell drugs. So Amazon, Jeff Bezos is now converting into a drug dealer. So Quentin's trying to show a computer. Let me jump up over there. Oh, nice. Looks good. If you hold it there long enough, it might focus. Solbu asks, says, let me know if you just need a vacation in Norway of a COVID-free spare bedroom. But I don't know. A friend of mine's family has COVID, so I mean, I might have the coof. You better be careful about that. I mean, I very well could have the coof here.
I will gladly come in his place, Solbu.
Okay, yeah. Let Tech have it. I'll have my few days of quarantine here. You know. Solbu says he. Yeah. All right. Even if you disagree with how the governments around the world handles COVID, do you understand how they've handled it in March since they didn't know? Yes, I do. I was like, okay, maybe you're going a little bit too extreme in March, but I understand in March why they locked things down. We didn't have a lot of research. We didn't have a lot of issues. We didn't have... There were like a grand total of maybe 100 different articles out there which had some questionable findings and things like that. So we understood that there was a problem. But now if you look at the actual data, you can see cases are on the rise, but deaths are going way down because there's a lot of reasons, I think, for that. But so yes, in March, I understand it. Absolutely. Oh, there you go.
I'm going to try it this way to see if it'll focus.
Hey, there you go. Now you got some focus.
Yeah, as you can see, these icons are not your standard GNOME icons.
Yeah, that looks really good.
They're my nice material design icons. This is Papyrus, is what this theme is. Come on, if you can focus. They're just the icon themes from Papyrus, or the icons from Papyrus, and then you can see the font is Roboto, which is the official material design font
Yeah.
from Google.
Yeah, that actually looks really clean. It looks like a mobile phone.
Yeah.
That's actually
I'm not
really
going
nice.
to get rid of the calendar because my real name is under there, but that's what it looks
Yeah.
like. Actually, let me just
That's fine.
put my not listed there, so now you can see that. This is a
There you go.
touchscreen laptop, so if you're wondering why the keyboard came up like that.
Yeah. Those
It
are
looks a
pretty
lot
nice.
better than the stock GNOME.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I should share. I know people have asked me about that. I can go ahead and do that, as I can share how I customize my GNOME desktop. Because a lot of people have asked me about that. I do not like stock GNOME. I think stock GNOME is really ugly. But once you customize it, it looks great.
Yeah. So do we have a consensus? Does Jeff Bezos kind of remind you of Lex Luthor?
I can believe it.
I'm on board with that. Yeah. Mail from UK makes it a Vegas before anything out of Illinois. The postal hub. Oh Lord. Time system does not boot when I use Zen kernel. Change back to kernels. Let's see. Sleepy Eyes Vince, you're here. We had a question, Vince, about window managers versus desktop environments. If you can speak to that question that we had in there, that would be cool. And let's see.
Come on, camera.
All right. So, Tech, you had an issue with Nextcloud build you were talking about, right?
Yeah, I just want to get contacts, calendars, and maybe the mail feature built on my Nextcloud server. But I can't figure out how to actually get apps into Nextcloud. I added the link in the config.php for their app store, and no settings that I can tell have changed in my Nextcloud. So I don't know what to do.
So you should have an administrative login, right?
Yeah, I got that.
You go into administrative login, you just go up into, there should just be an apps pull down where you can just.
Yeah, that's how it is for me too. You have a thing that says apps.
Let me log back in here.
Yeah, I run the account I actually use for everything is not administrative.
That's why you mind. I use the administrative account for all the administrative stuff, and the rest.
Yeah, same.
Normal account.
So, I'm not. Yeah. Right, go ahead.
I'm only using my administrative account just to add the apps, and then I have my standard account for everything else. Like once I add it, then I'll configure it under my normal account. That's
correct.
That's the problem. I just can't get them added. So I'm logged in now. I've got on the left, I got like files, recent, and all that jazz. And on the right, I have my administrator icon. If I click that, there's the apps option. It has a little plus sign and then apps, right?
Yeah. I think that's
I click on that. And then I've got your apps, active apps, disabled apps, and app bundles. And that's it.
Okay, let me get logged into my administrative one.
Yeah, is there a way to flip your camera view on the Jitsi app? I know, like on Zoom, I can flip my camera view so it's the opposite, so it's the right way.
Well, I can. What's coming through right now on the screen is correct.
Yeah,
it's not reversed.
Okay, so it looks right. It looks weird. It just looks kind of weird there.
All right, did I get that right? Okay, yes, I got that right. All right, where is that at? That is Office. What I need my Nextcloud administrator account, and let's do that.
Yeah, like I don't have Office. So I thought that what I needed to do, looking at the forums, was in config PHP add the App Store link, which I did, but nothing changed. My server? Or?
Yeah, let me get logged in there and I'll have a look.
You don't have a thing that says apps.
I think he does. It just doesn't pull up the store.
Right. It just has like a list of what I already have enabled.
That's weird. How did you install it?
I found a video guide on YouTube and ran through everything through the command line.
Did you use the Nextcloud VM scripts?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I pull down the icon that's in the like user icon in the upper right. Pull down apps.
Yep.
Okay. I wonder if they took the App Store out.
I'm running, I don't know if it matters, I'm running 1804.
Yeah, and I thought the calendar was part of it too.
Yeah. I mean, guess it says,
so-
I thought at one time I saw it on here, but no,
Yeah,
I
I think they actually took out like the GUI looking store, but if you go down, for me it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't count today. Wow. I think it's the 5th item down. It's called App Bundles. Do you see that?
That's a 4th item down for me.
Okay. Is it 4 for me then? It is
I've
5 for
got-
me. If you click on that, do you see what do you see listed in there?
I have audit/logging, and I've got LDAP user and group backend. That's it.
That is it. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
There's
The other
something
thing
with
you
your-
can do is you can download the actual files and you can just upload them to the plugins folder if you have FTP access or
There's
SSH.
something goofy with your Nextcloud. I'm gonna
there
say that
is.
right now.
Yeah.
Sure
There is definitely something goofy with it.
Because I haven't updated mine. I think I'm on 20.0. I haven't gotten to the latest 20.1. But I had a thing, last time I checked, I had a thing where if you clicked apps, you could see all the ones you hadn't installed.
Yep. Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I got all the ones I have installed. I can see that.
No, I'm saying the ones that I haven't installed, like all the ones in
Okay.
the store.
Yeah, so like I have
options
like
for that.
DAC is an option I have, and I have a download and enable button, so it's not even downloaded over here. Where's my
What directory do I copy them to? And
I will have to. You should. I think it's called plugins or apps. See if you have a directory like that. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I have an apps directory. Yes.
Okay, go into there and see what's in there. I think they should just be able to put them into there. See, like one of the things I'm noticing on mine right now, though, is I know I have one app that is out of date, but I don't see that app listed here, which is kind of interesting. So if I go to, yeah, there it is. So it's like it wants this one. So it wants Calibora to update. The problem is if you update Calibora, it doesn't work with an external server anymore.
I find that Calibora, especially, this might just be because I'm not using an external server, but it's really slow.
Yeah, if you're using an internal server, it may not be as good, but yeah. All right. Let's see if I'm getting caught up over here. Anna Rita's jumped on. Greetings. How's it going there? Sooner most people will get COVID, the sooner we all become immune on our own. Yeah, I mean, we have to be careful not to like totally infect everybody 100% of the time. But I think that the fear-mongered people are going to be a good enough job of their own to keep out. Just stop telling everybody else what everybody has to do. That's the thing. Before and after photos of Bezos are amazing. The transformation. Yeah. He definitely took on the Lex Luthor mode in the last few years. That's for sure. Ethernet goes out randomly when Peppermint goes to sleep. Took a while before I determined this. If I don't put it to sleep, the web doesn't seem to go out. Okay. Let's see. Window managers handle basically all Windows, placement, resizing, etc. DEs are built on top of window managers to provide other goodies like decoration, system tools, and eye candy. Ooh. Yeah. An i3WM nerd there. All right. I'll have to figure that one out. There's a Swazoo that dealing with that.
Either of you know? So I'm at apps.nextcloud.com. I'm wondering if so they've got like the different builds. Do you have to do the version for your Nextcloud server? Like I'm asking because under calendar, they've got Nextcloud 17, 18, and 19. All of which are the same calendar app version, but for some reason, Nextcloud 18 says it's a nightly unstable release. So I'm just wondering if I could like just grab.
I think you should be able to grab any of them and give it a try, because if it doesn't work, I mean, you just download another one and upload another one.
Yeah,
That's what I've had to do for Calibora. When I push an update, it'll update the Calibora app. But the Calibora app, they've been so focused on getting the internal Calibora server working, they broke the connection to the external server, and your Calibora won't work. So you have to go back to a certain version. And so I just have to keep that old certain version around.
All right, fair enough. So is it just a matter of just like, can I just extract these tar files and then just drop them in the apps folder?
Yes.
Oh, dope. All right. That's what I'm doing.
That is correct. Yep. Let's see. Never tried KDE. Started with GNOME 2. Went to Fluxbox. Now between OpenBox and Tint2 and XFCE. There you go. I'm not an i3. I'm on XFCE or GNOME. All right.
Oh, Tom, I know you said something about this. Are you ever going to talk about using profiles on not profiles, what's it called? Policies on Firefox? Because that's what I'm doing on all my Firefox installs now.
So I was kind of waiting to see if they finalize them. So I did about a year ago, before the world blew up, I did the 2020 guide to hardening Firefox.
Yeah, I still watch that.
Yeah. A number of those options you can put inside a single policy file, and then those options will remain permanently off, and then you don't have to mess with them again. The problem is there's a lot of them that don't function in policy functions yet, and so
I was about to say we tried doing that. Go ahead.
I've actually got a policy file right now. I'm using on all my Firefox installs. Like when I install what I do for Firefox is I usually delete the Firefox that comes with the distro because it's not ESR, and most of the policies only work under ESR. Like disabling telemetry only works on ESR.
Yeah.
So what I do is I just go to the Firefox website, download ESR, drop it into the op folder, and then add a desktop shortcut. And then I just drop your Firefox policies into you create a file called policies.json. And then you drop that into Etsy Firefox policies. And you have, here, I don't really think the share screen would work that well, but does share screen work on this? Like, are you able to show everybody?
Yeah, it works. It works, yeah.
Okay. I'll share
I can't guarantee everyone's going to see it
now. And calendar. Sorry, go ahead.
You got it? Sweet.
I'm excited, man. It's working. Woo, perfect.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, can you guys see this here? Here's my policies file.
We can see it. We can't read it, but we can see it. It's very small. And it's mostly cut out. And it's also mostly cut out because of how I have the screens cropped.
Yeah, Vince.
I'd probably just stop sharing and just talk about it. So just to bring people up to speed. So the policies will overwrite whatever's in the about config. So you can set a policy and then it will block any changes to that section in about config. So you can go in there and create a policy to do a lot of different blockings and the things that you do in a hardening video. I can very easily.
What I'll probably do is I can put this on GitHub, and then I can give people the link if they want to use my same policy file. It's not everything that's in your Firefox hardening guide. It's most of the stuff. Like I still have the stuff for the DRM because I use DRM on some sites, and then I have stuff to like save history. But pretty much all the telemetry, all the pocket crap. I do have mine set so automatically installs uBlock Oregon, the KeyPass browser extension, privacy browser. Another extension I like called Cookie Auto Delete that manages cookies and HTTPS everywhere. So essentially you boot it up and all these extensions automatically install. Of course, you can customize that.
Yeah. I know there are some things that were not working under policies. Are those all pretty much working under ESR now?
Yeah, there was one that doesn't work. It's a very minor thing. It's I have a thing set in here so that one of the things that I really hate about browsers is when you click the close button and it asks, are you sure you want to close all tabs? I have a thing to set that, but it doesn't work. Because I like it when I click the close button in the browser, I want it gone. I don't want that little pop-up message. That's not that big of a deal. You can always choose the little box to not show it. That doesn't work, but pretty much everything else works.
Okay, that's good.
I'm
Yeah,
actually gonna take that
that's
out
the
right
reason I
now.
didn't do a video on it yet, is because of the sheer number of things I wanted to customize that don't actually work.
I have pretty much everything. Like I said, I have pretty much everything that was in the Firefox hardening. I have a thing to block geo restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thing to block notifications, autoplay, block location. I don't block camera and microphone because I occasionally use that.
Yep.
The only search engine I have set on mine is, that's the other thing that doesn't work, is you can't add search engines. You can remove search engines, but you can't add ones that weren't already there.
Okay.
So I have mine to delete everything except DuckDuckGo.
Okay.
And then, I turned off all the recommendations. Like I said, I installed those extensions. I have it so that so that it blocks third-party cookies. And, I have it so it blocks third-party cookies, and they get deleted once you close the browser. I have the auto-updating turned off. I have the account stuff. I have the Firefox studies. I have Pocket. I have all the telemetry. Okay. And I have DNS over HTTPS disabled, but not only that, I have it locked, so you can't even click the enable button.
That's a useful feature. Somebody's asked me about that before, and I have not seen
it. You can lock them so that they don't work.
I've noticed the new Firefox version, it displays the box asking if you want to enable that and then kills it immediately. So it basically effectively forces you to enable DNS over HTTPS.
I'm on ESR, so I don't ever see that kind of stuff.
Now, did you figure out how to put it inside the Mac?
Yes, in the Mac, it's under I can't remember where it is in the Mac, but if you look it up, it's not that hard. If you go to there's a page that has documenting all the policy settings, it tells you where to put it.
Yeah, so for the Mac users out there wanting to use that, you put it in the applications folder. You need to open up the Firefox file inside the applications folder, and there will be a spot for policy.
Yeah, that's right. That sounds right. You go under application, you go show package contents resources, and then you just drop it in there.
Steve's very own is in the house. Greetings, Steve's very own. How are you?
Trying to think if there's anything else that I need to say. Oh, the other thing is I deleted all the default bookmarks. When you install Firefox by default, it'll add all this stuff, like links to like Mozilla's website and stuff. I have it so that goes away.
Yeah. But you don't want links to all the Firefox stuff?
Yeah.
The issue I've been dealing with today, this is for a video, so I believe if the video's done by then, it should be on Saturday, I'm going to talk about how you can do a screencast on Linux using Steam Link. The one thing I can't get working right is the cron job to start Steam Link on System Start. I'm getting permission denied. If anybody has any ideas for that.
So while I'm thinking about it right now, honestly, Tom, for your thing, I literally have no idea. If you try with sudo, I have no idea.
Yeah. So one thing I can do is I can put it inside of systemd as a startup function instead of a cron job. A little bit more complicated. I want to do a more simple item, or it could just be maybe I just don't have the permissions set right. Maybe I just don't have it set for execution.
I'm going to put my Firefox policies file in GitHub, and then I'll put the link in the chat if you guys want it.
Yep. Open Firefox text editor, you can see it's Chromium, and it's in your face.
There's some stuff.
Firefox is not based on Chromium.
Honestly, I'm gonna side with him on this.
Okay.
It's not totally Chromium. I see what he's saying. There are some things that have some Chromium URLs, and like some icons and stuff have a prefix with Chrome on them. So there are some little things that have some Chromium stuff on them.
It wouldn't be out of the ordinary to grab a couple packages from Chromium build because it's open source, but the engine itself is not Chromium. The engine is what is important, not the beautiful designs around it. I mean, I know it's not because it behaves completely different.
If you think about it, pretty much every single browser is, even Safari. So Chromium is based on WebKit is the rendering engine. Chromium uses Blink, which is WebKit based. Firefox uses Gecko, which is like based on all the old Netscape stuff. You know, Mozilla was actually founded by Netscape.
Yep.
And so pretty much every single browser, even Safari, they all use WebKit except for Internet Explorer and Firefox. They all use their own engines.
Mm-hmm.
But just think about that every single browser uses except Internet Explorer and Firefox use the same rendering engine.
I mean, like Safari's different. No, is Safari different?
No, Safari uses WebKit.
That's right. Safari is WebKit. That's right.
So Safari, Chrome uses Blink, which is based on WebKit. Safari is just straight up WebKit.
Yeah, about a decade ago when I was doing a lot of browser compatibility stuff for a big publishing company. So in doing browser compatibility work, we had to figure out how to get stuff working. And I found this weird little thing that Chrome running on Windows renders the exact way that's was it? No, it was something weird. So back in that day, you could still get a Windows build of Safari. And of course, you get Chrome on everything, you get Safari and everything. Any bugs that would show up on Chrome on Mac would show up on Safari on Windows and vice versa. So you could browser compatibility check without a Mac by booting up and looking at a site in Safari and Chrome and Firefox and an Internet Explorer. So you look at all four of those, and then any errors that would show up on Mac on Safari would show up on Windows on Chrome and vice versa. So it was a weird little thing I figured out to get sites to work. Of course, now things mostly work well, but there's still a few little odds and ends that are different.
Yeah.
Hello,
the other thing, though, mobile is the exception. So with mobile, the thing about mobile is that all the browsers, even Firefox, they all use the default, like mobile, the rendering engine is built into the operating system. So all the browsers all use just the default Android rendering engine, which is Chromium. Even Firefox does.
Yep. Someone else just jumped on. Hey, it's Mark. How's it going, Mark?
It's me. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's me. That was a song from SNL. We're gonna have your baby.
Okay, so here is my Firefox policy file.
Firefox
you guys want it.
Type this message on Mint 20. Very nice. Their blog, they were switching. They took the page down. Quantum is a custom Chrome.
Mint 21 should be released not too awfully long from now, I'd say.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably about the time I might consider switching over to Mint 20 again. I mean, I'm still finding 19.3 still pretty solid.
Are you still on 18.3?
I'm still on 18.3 here, and it's getting old. It needs updated soon.
Getting long in the tooth, at that point. Well, I mean, what you do whatever works for you, but I will say Mint 2004 is very stable. So I've been running it for quite some time. Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we got you.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
The builders here. Wow, great stream, guys. Yeah, very disorganized today. Come back when we actually have a topic. Like, it's getting the end of the year. It's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy month. So I'm just like, I just didn't want to think.
Let's not put too much pressure on ourselves, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have enough pressure as entrepreneurs, and I always feel like, am I getting enough done?
Yeah.
Have I got enough done? Am I not doing what I need to do, or am I doing the wrong stuff?
Yeah, I've been I was up until like 4 last night. I'm actually working with a gentleman to build a Quint. We're working with Open Source Social Network now, Quint. Finally, I'm working with a guy who wants to build a another social media network, an alternative social media network. So I'm working with him on getting that up and running.
So are you using open source social network?
Yeah, so we're doing that, but since he pretty much only uses alt tech, we had to find a way to get all of the alt tech video sites embedded into it with the simple link. The same way you could post a YouTube video pretty much anywhere and it'll show up with the YouTube video and stuff. So we have to get in there and change all the code. So basically we need to do a capture it, get a URL rewrite, and then rewrite the URL to whatever it takes to embed it. So it's very interesting. Go ahead, Mark.
It's not Ian Crossler by any chance, just a wild guess.
No.
He owns what did he say? He on Minds. Ian Crossler is on Timcast. Timcast IRL. I don't know if you ever watched that. It's political commentary.
I'm not a huge fan of it. I watched a clip today, but I generally don't watch it.
There's a lot of them. A lot of stuff I don't agree with him on, and then a lot of stuff I do. They're kind of a mixed bag for me too. But he's one of the more centrist that I've found on YouTube, even though I find him a little more right wing, which there's nothing necessarily inherently wrong with being a little more right wing, but a little bit too much at times for me. And you might have the opposite effect for you, but I don't know. I do like his stuff, and I think he's genuinely. Do what?
I personally have the opposite opinion about Tim Pool. I mean, he's somebody who like looks at what's going on and he has a reasonable reaction to it, but like fundamentally, I think where his values lie, he's left.
Yeah, he's a center left guy. He is one of the guys that he's one of the people I like to watch to get a different perspective of things, which I like to do frequently.
He's genuine, and I feel like he's forthright, and I think you're absolutely correct. I agree with that. He's just reacting to what happens in the real world and giving his honest thoughts.
I he does some decent stuff.
Yeah, that's why I watch him. You know, he's honest, whether you agree with him or not. You know.
So one of the things, and I talked about this at the very beginning about Wi-Fi issues I'm having with my laptop here. So this laptop, unfortunately, this is an HP. It's one of those HP 2-in-1 laptops. Touchscreen, flip around and stuff. Everything on it works perfectly except for the Wi-Fi. Like all the touchscreen drivers and stuff are all present. It's just the Wi-Fi.
So what's the problem with that?
It has a Realtek I think it's a Realtek RTL 8821CE.
Now, is that something you could just swap?
No.
Realtek drivers are really, they're known to be fancy.
No, I mean, if you open up pretty much any laptop, I'd be very surprised if that thing were built into the board.
Yeah, Quint, what's the model on that?
I honestly am not sure. Oh, here it is right here. It's an HP Pavilion X360 convertible, and the model number is 11-AP-0014NR.
I've heard of that model number.
Yeah, those Realtek cards. Now the question is it all glued together?
That's the thing, is that it's really thin. Like this is a really thin laptop.
Yeah,
so it
might
see
the back of it. See the back of it better.
I think I worked on a model like that. I worked on a similar model.
Hold the back up. I want to see the back of it. There's screws down there at the bottom.
There's screws right there. There's probably screws under the little pads too.
Under the little pads. Be careful. Make sure you check everything thorough before zero insertion force. Make sure you don't force anything. There's a screw there if you don't see it.
Yeah.
The other thing is,
the cards are fairly modular. I mean, I know my Dell laptop that for whatever reason it just had a really weak card in it, and it started to kind of not work right. So I ordered a new one, and I just swapped it out with an old Broadcom card I had laying around. I actually had to manually install the drivers, but I swapped it out with an Intel one that was right in the kernel.
But what I was saying is there is a driver for it. There's an open source driver on GitHub that you have to install manually, and it doesn't work super well. It does work. Like I've gotten it to work. I was on a Zoom call earlier today on this laptop, and the call kept like disconnecting because it was just very unstable. But I did read here. There are a couple of things. What you have to do is you have to disable the connectivity check in Network Manager, which is GNOME's networking backend service, and then that should fix most of the problems, which I did that. And it seems to be working fine now. I just wanted to point that out, that if you have one of these laptops with the Realtek cards in it and you use that driver, which is pretty much the only driver available for Linux, you need to disable your connectivity checking in Network Manager if you're on GNOME, or pretty much any distro that uses Network Manager, because it's pretty common now. I think Linux Mint does.
I've got a client that has a similar issue with Ubuntu. There's not exactly the correct drivers in Ubuntu. It works, the Wi-Fi works, but she's got like a real thin, light laptop, little cheap one. It's more like a netbook, but it's those that really don't, you don't really want to run Windows 10 on because they just can't handle it. You want to run Linux on it, but
yeah, I'm totally not sure why, Mark, but every single time I try and put the camera on you, I get Quint's logo.
He doesn't have his video on.
I know, but I should at least get his name
logo,
and
yeah.
picture. I don't. I get your name and picture when I try to switch to Mark's camera.
Oh, good. It don't matter.
Yeah,
Quinn's
people
prettier.
have-
Don't worry, Quinn's prettier than me.
Thank you.
So y'all can just put the camera on me.
That's right. Yeah, I know. That's what I did. I put the camera on tack.
Other than that, though, like everything literally works on this laptop. Like the touchscreen works flawlessly. If you flip it around, most of the time, if you take the laptop, I restarted it, but if you take the laptop, you pick it up and flip it around. Typically, the screen should rotate.
Yep.
And
Just
so
out of
the
the big screen, yeah.
Everything works pretty well on this laptop, though. So this is I'd say this is a good laptop for Linux.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Plus, this has 4 gigs of RAM. I think I think the screen just rotated there. But if I rotate, you see how it flipped around?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
If I go like this, it flips around.
What if I go ahead and
Works
click on your
perfectly.
screen? There you go.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead and show it again.
If you
Yep.
flips
There you
around,
go. Let's see the side.
rotate,
Yeah.
flips around,
nice.
works perfectly.
Very good.
I think my real name was in that shot, but it's all right. It probably was too unfocused. So
Yeah, probably
Looks
was.
like somebody on iFixit actually has a teardown for not this exact model, but a similar one.
yeah. Is it glued?
And replace the wireless card in it.
I don't think I'm going to, though. It's
Oh.
just this one's
Mini
working
PCI or
right
something.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
You should be able to
I did have
replace the
Dell,
Wi-Fi
a
card
tiny Dell.
really easy.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, if it gets that bad and you really need a, reliable, you can just get an external USB dongle.
USB.
It's a subby dongle. It's an UC dongle. Yeah, there you go.
It's good, man. It works.
School requires Zoom, which is such a terrible problem. Yeah, pretty much everyone does. It's like,
Yeah, if you're not going in person, you have to use Zoom.
yeah. Very funny. Like, isn't that a fascinating intersection of education and tech where they're forcing these products on us? Because, I mean, we should have, I get that we have to have some type of normality, but at the same time, some of these products, like Zoom, I'd say is not that bad of one to push on us for the reason that it, what am I trying to say? You don't have to have an account to use it on the client end of things. But what you do
Challenger
have...
has appeared.
Yes, how's it going? I think still working on cameras and stuff and microphones. All right. So yeah, it's but when they're forcing them onto Google products and Microsoft products that collect data and then hand those companies your personal information, that's kind of where we have an issue. Oh,
So, one thing I'll say about that, I agree with you, that's an issue, but the school, I've talked to the IT people, they have specific contracts with Google that prohibit Google from basically using students' data for marketing.
Yeah, but they are.
Yeah,
You cannot tell me that Google is not in some way, maybe not right this second, but down the road. Oh, they're now 18. I can use all their data instantly.
Right, they're not a student anymore, so just sell it off.
Yeah, what I'm going to do when I graduate high school is I'm going to get the school, I'm going to basically move all the data that's in that account, just download it and upload it to Nextcloud probably, or just keep it on the computer. It depends.
Mm-hmm.
Like on my NAS, and then I'm just going to get the school just to delete the account. And then
Yeah.
Google, the thing is Google doesn't know like all the other personal stuff because I don't really have any personal Google accounts.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Is that you, Rick, right? Up north? Can you hear us?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, how's it going? You're half in the side of the camera, but that's all right. We can hear you all right.
Yeah, I'm usually late because it's supper time around here all the time. And
Yeah.
I just talked to my my grandson and their family on Zoom because we're still kind of caged in here up in the Great White North, so
Yeah.
we're going bonkers too. So
yeah, that's so what's the do you guys have hefty fines for leaving your house and stuff, or what's it like up there?
oh no, well, there's just new recommendations for family gatherings and social and so forth. We just had breakfast at a restaurant this morning. That was fine. There's nothing serious in Alberta yet. BC, they're clamping down quite a bit more.
Yeah. I
We
think
our cases are on the rise here too, but there's some doctors up here that are debating, challenging this lockdown stuff as they're being too broad, and they need to basically said they need to protect the vulnerable, but don't shut everything down so severely.
Yeah,
And everybody's going to walk around and wash their hands, and even we do. So we're very high risk, actually. My wife is, but we're both ready to go. We're both ready to stay, and you would understand that.
absolutely.
You're lucky that you get to live in Alberta. I've been to Alberta twice. It's just beautiful up there.
It is, yeah. I was just posting a few days ago. There's a bad snowstorm in Calgary. Cars are buried in snow, but I posted, that we have no rattlesnakes. Well, in Drumheller, got no spiders, no tornadoes and hurricanes. Well, the last tornado was in 1987 here. So nobody carries guns up here, so only the criminals.
I'm down here in Atlanta, where it gets to like in the summer, it's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit, like 95-ish. It's hot. So you're lucky.
I wouldn't have it any other way, man. Give me my 100 degrees. Give me my hurricanes.
A record high up here is, maybe 90 once in a while, but it does used to get down to minus 40, but it's a dry cold. See, Alberta's dry. We're kind of like a desert in the wintertime with snow.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I know.
it's not really that cold. So.
Yeah, that's when I lived in a desert as well. And, it got into the hundreds, but it was dry heat. And we're talking about dry heat. We had the average humidity was 13, so because we were legitimately in a high altitude desert, lived there for 5 years. Wintertime, it got down to the way negatives, but it wasn't all that bad,
Yeah. Well, we used to snowbird a lot to Arizona, and it's neat down there. The wind is usually so calm, and it's about 10 degrees or 5 degrees C in the morning, which is 40. And I step outside in pajamas and a cup of coffee and a cookie, but the sun is so warm and hot, and it's so dry, and there's no wind. It's just wonderful. But we're done with all that. We can't do that anymore for medical insurance. So
yeah.
did it for almost 20 years. So.
I think there was one time. I think it was this summer. Pizza loving nerd said that he asked how to make iced tea because he said it was really hot. And I asked him what the temperature was, and he said it was 72. And I'm like, that is not hot. That is not hot.
No, it is not.
72 is what
That's
our
normal around here.
set on in the summer. Like, that's what we consider, like, ice cold.
I was gonna say, that's winter down here in the South, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to get to this question real quick here. Do you still keep a Windows computer around? So I still do development on a Windows 7 computer because it's still alive. When it dies, it's getting replaced with the Linux one, which is already here. I do have my development on that. I think I do about a quarter of the development on the Linux one at this point, about 3/4 on the Windows one, just because it's the one I've been using since I started the business, and so I'm just doing it around. When that finally dies, I go to Linux for pure development. I do have I have a Surface Pro 1 laying around with Windows 10, and I do have a MacBook Air running around, of course, with Mac, just because I'm doing things for people, for websites and stuff like that, and I need to keep those computers around at least to check on something for clients every now and again. So I booted it up about once every 6 months ago. See, it still works, but I generally don't use a Windows computer for anything else other than what we have there.
Well, I had a brief use for Windows 10 because I got a video capture card, one of those diamond ones, and I didn't really know much about Linux capture software, so it came with a program, so I installed it on Windows 10, but I made sure I unplugged my landline because I don't want it updating and trashing my system.
Yeah.
And very poor performance. I didn't really care for it. I made an AVI file, which is ginormous, and I just didn't have any luck for it. I dumped it for a while, and so I just poked around last week, and I tried OBS. I didn't realize OBS was video capture software. They got names. I don't know what it does, so I'm branching out. And so then I used what's the other one to convert the videos.
Handbrake is
Handbrake, is it? Yeah, Handbrake. Yeah, that's good. And
like
it worked
Handbrake.
pretty flawless. I got some old VHS tapes I want to copy. I tried one with, Buster Keaton, and there's a CBC. He travels across country, the Railroader. It's just hilarious. You should go and look at it. But I have an old copy of VHS and a whole stack full downstairs. So
nice.
My winter hibernation project, I'm gonna pull a bunch of those down. But OBS is nice. It rips it to MP4 in one shot. So
yeah, I used OBS to do that. Right now I'm using one. What's it? Vi. I don't know if Moonbase Alpha is still on, but I'm using the card he recommended I get for the capture card. It supports Linux back to like the drivers for Linux are baked back to 2.6 and later, so it's specifically for Linux. But it works really well. I'm actually that's what I'm using right now for the DSLR camera. So
I did have one question though about. I did have one question using that in a long video, like an hour, 2 hour video, where you get the audio video lag. Using OBS or Handbrake, how do you insert? Like, first of all, how do you tell whether the video's ahead or the audio's ahead, and how do you insert? You insert breaks with Handbrake, like 2 seconds or frames during a lull in the audio. How do you do that? You do it 20 times during the...
Yeah, so the first thing I do is I just try and make sure everything's synced up out of the gate. Usually, I've never seen a case where OBS is the video rate and the audio rate is variable off sync. It might be off sync. If you find it's off sync and you just need to correct it by a couple seconds, you can actually extract the audio file from it using Audacity, do any audio manipulation you need, and then resync the video back to it. I did a video about correcting the sound. I got a DVD that was basically like a DVD recorded from a VHS from an archive service, and one of the channels was bad. And so I basically extracted the audio because the video was perfect. The audio was bad. I extracted the audio. I deleted the bad channel, split the good channel into stereo, corrected that, and then all you do is using FFmpeg on the terminal, you can swap the good audio for the bad audio in a video. So I have a video about doing that on the channel, a couple months ago.
I think I came across that. Yeah. I have to revisit that.
I have noticed similar effects with Filmora X. That is probably because on my system, it's a little bit of an older system running an AM3. No, I told you wrong. AMD FM2 Plus. It's an older hardware, and I've got like 8 gigs of RAM. I don't have quite enough RAM to run Filmora X, and I know I'm in Windows. I temporarily, this is temporary.
How dare you?
How dare you, Greta Thunberg? Yep. But
You guys are gonna
might
think
want
this
to up
is
your
funny.
range depending on your hardware. Go ahead, Quinn.
You guys are gonna think this is funny, but none of my friends own a DVD player.
This is weird. So weird.
Fillmore's editing
Well, everything is
software.
streaming these days, right? So
Yeah.
The biggest problem with everything on streaming is you don't own anything. If you really like that movie, man, and your internet goes out or whatever else, you're done, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, I can boot mine up anytime I
Precisely.
want.
I still have a ton of DVDs. I have there's a ton of VHS tapes we have too, but we don't have a player. So they all just sit there.
I love the idea of being able to entertain myself for hours and eat and drink and watch movies or play video games without having to rely whatsoever on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, I can just go in my room in my own corner in front of my TV and just do whatever the heck I want to do without having to. I want to build up a library. There is a service called Parsec that I want to look at, which is specifically for like doing your own private gaming server. I know I mentioned that earlier, but I like to play video games now and again.
Yeah.
I grew up doing it. My generation was one of the first generations one of the last generations that played outside, and one of the first generations that played inside in the 80s, 84. So it was a kind of a transitional period. Technology really was coming along in the 90s, early 90s and mid 90s, and we got personal computers in the home with things like AOL dial-up, and all of a sudden, you know, computing became more and more of the thing in the home, and it was.
No, Mark, this might sound weird, but I played outside when I was a kid.
Well, that's good.
Weird.
You're not normal, but that is a very good thing.
Yeah. Well, any more not
You know,
normal
like-
is a good thing.
You know, all my friends who play games, they're all like Nintendo. They all have all their Nintendo Switches, where instead of buying the physical game, they download it from the internet, just stuff like that.
Well,
That's how
there's
gaming
nothing
is
wrong with
now.
downloading it from the internet if you can at least avoid DRM or strip it out. There are tools.
But this is like they go to like the Nintendo Switch, like whatever website, and they just get the digital download instead of buying the physical copy.
So do they
You just still
emulate it?
DRM.
Oh, okay, just the actual physical copy.
Yeah, so you can actually, if you want to do it without DRM, GOG, good old games. Yeah,
They're
perfect way
great.
to go.
I wonder if they have any Tomb Raider titles from back in the day. I don't know if they would or not.
I don't know about that.
Green Man Gaming is pretty good too. But I love the idea of Parsec, you know, most of the time I'm going to have the internet, but I guess obviously I'm going to need the internet to do Parsec, but I also would like to have a library built up locally that I can pull from my server if I need to, and then just play locally if I need to, if I don't have access to my server. Like a digital library on a hard disk drive, like a 6 terabyte.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I run a digital library through OMV, which just works beautifully. So
yeah, so you've got your.
We need to wrap this up because I have another stream coming up in 45 minutes. So we need to go ahead and do our final words. So let's see, Tech, why don't you give us your final words first?
My contact syncing isn't working.
Your contact syncing isn't working?
Yeah, not on iOS. It works with my desktop though, so I'll figure out how to get. I'll get my contacts. Yeah,
it should. Well, we can help. We can get that figured out pretty soon.
Yeah,
I know I've tested it in iOS. Quint, final words.
I don't really know. I'm glad I got my icons and all my nice gnome theming to work, so it all looks perfect now.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
All right.
You guys, Mark, you missed that, but I was working on my gnome theming to get everything to show up on lock screen.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. Mark, final words.
You can find me. Why not do a shameless plug, right?
Hey, why not, right?
You can find me on Yates Networks on my main YouTube channel. That is where I'm an MSP, managed service provider. I do IT solutions, basically. That's where I detail a lot of my work and a lot of my day-to-day solutions for problems and stuff for clients. And it's just kind of a way to showcase that and get it up on the screen and help people to use their tech better. And I try to make it really easy for everybody to understand for just at any age or any ability. I want people to be able to grasp and be able to use it as a resource. It's being treated more like a repository for knowledge and skill set that people can glean off of.
All right.
Yeah.
Rick, give us your final words.
I came in late, but I just got a new toy yesterday, a nice big widescreen 27-inch monitor.
Nice.
And I have some vision problems, and so I need some good computer glasses. These are not very good, but it's much better. And I love playing around with Linux and poking around with Arch Linux. Lots of neat stuff to learn.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Very
well,
good.
my problem is I have glaucoma, and so in my right eye, so trying to get the right prescription for the right eye is pretty hard because I don't see dead center. So they asked me to look at the letter, and I don't see it. I have to look away from it to see it. So, but I'm overdue for glasses. But I'm having a real hoot playing around with Linux, and haven't used Windows in 4 years. And that last kick of the cat was with the diamond and the video capture. I don't need to use that anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, keeps the old brain cells from dying too. So
That's
there you
true.
go. Yeah, absolutely.
It's very
working.
true.
All right. So I'm, of course, streaming on my Christian channel tonight. If you're interested in that, we are talking about Christ taking on human form. Go ahead and drop the link in there if you're interested, and come on over to that video. That will be in about 45 minutes, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And with that, thanks for coming along, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for the weekly news roundup.